fuel cell. I assume if I marked it on the map, then close.
Finally, if any fuel cells are still intact, they'd probably be deeper within the wreckage. Unfortunately, everything beyond the bridge is steeped in radiation, and the ship's AI is just making matters worse.
The ship's AI? Do you mean Apollo?
Are you familiar?
Apollo was the ship's tactical AI. He was instrumental in helping us survive our first encounter with the biomass.
I just hope he's still online.
Considering my difficulties exploring here, he must be.
Then if we can make contact with Apollo, he can probably help us find the fuel cell we need.
Guess it's time to say hello to our old friend.
Roger that. Heading to the bridge. All this scaffolding. Dr. Harlan, were you attempting to repair the bridge?
I was stabilizing it so I could investigate. It would have become a salvage operation had the ship's AI not shut down all my equipment. With my equipment offline, the radiation there has made it impossible to work.
Not to worry, Dr. Harlan. Apollo will listen to us.
A downed cargo
Already?
drone. Some of your equipment, Dr. Harlan.
Correct. Incapacitated by the ship's AI, best I can tell.
Why would Apollo do that?
He did mention serving as a tactical AI. It's possible Apollo has activated some security measures around his ship.
Isn't that perfect?
Well, I'm sure you can convince him to help us out, Jack. We did before.
A bypass for the door controls, locked behind a keypad.
It was the only way I could gain access. The code is 2126.
I've gained access to the bridge.
I assume you have some type of plan.
Apollo's AI core would be an appropriate place to start. It was vital to his operation here.
Good point, Jack. If it's still intact, could be all we need to strike up a conversation.
You two are rather confident.
Apollo commissioned us as official crew members last time we met.
And we did part on good terms. I'm sure he'll do what he can to help.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
A casualty from Dr. Harlan's previous investigation.
It was just another shell lying around the station. We were trying to put it to good use.
I thought I could pilot it well enough, but apparently limb control is not my forte.
I'm expecting you'll fare better, Echo One. If this Apollo is indeed the ally you say he is.
An electrode for the defibrillator.
If you hadn't found that defib unit when you did, I wouldn't be here.
I should have been more careful.
Come on, Jack, stop it.
I should have checked the air for contaminants.
You know that would have taken too long. I'd have died on the table. Neither of us would be here now. You can't blame yourself for my infection. I certainly don't.
If the two of you are finished,
Right. Let's get back to it.
Apollo's AI core.
Oh, still intact?
Reasonably so, it seems. I'll just need to plug it into the mainframe access slot to be sure. The main access point for the bridge systems. With Apollo's AI core plugged in here, we might have a chance of establishing contact.
Unknown user detected. Bridge access is restricted to crew members only.
Wait, what?
Initializing threat suppression protocol.
Apollo, disable the alarms. Now!
Invalid command. The only crew members authorized with bridge access are Captain Olivia Rhodes and the Echo Unit designation. Jack, welcome back to the Estrella. It is good to see you.
Thank you, Apollo. It is good to see you as well.
Is Captain Rhodes with you? And well, I hope.
Cheers, Apollo. We missed you.
Likewise, Captain. Jack, your appearance is altered. I almost did not recognize you. I must apologize for the alarms.
Your reasoning was sound.
What brings you back to the Estrella?
We need an FTL fuel cell, Apollo. But we believe you've been disabling Dr. Harlan's salvaging equipment. We'll need it back online to deal with the radiation here.
Preserving this vessel is my primary directive. The last time jump virtually destroyed it. No further attempts to remove or misuse equipment can be permitted.
Lives depend on it, Apollo.
I understand, Captain, but I cannot allow any further material from this vessel to be compromised.
Apollo, Liv is infected with the biomass, and your directive is protecting the ship's crew and its critical assets.
Forgive me, Jack. I failed to follow your reasoning.
You yourself commissioned Liv, a fellow Atlas employee, as acting captain after the deaths of your original crew. You must remember.
Confirmed. Though I had not considered her status in such terms. Captain Rhodes is truly infected.
She needs your help.
Very well. As the Astrea's tactical adjunct, my primary directive is to protect its crew.
So you will help then?
Affirmative. I am hereby available to assist you in obtaining a fuel cell.
Lovely. That's settled.
Apollo, are you able to detect any fuel cells that are still operational?
My sensor network has been severely damaged. However, any functional fuel cells on the Astrea would be in the auxiliary drive bay. It can be seen through the window far ahead of the bridge.
What?
It is approximately 400 meters from here.
Seems easy enough to reach.
And it would be if this AI hadn't disabled the equipment I set up to counter the radiation.
A temporary security measure. Your equipment is now re-enabled.
You better not have damaged any of it.
Normal operations should resume now. Jack can verify this.
Oh dear. Incoming.
What the hell is that?
What?
A cargo drone. Apparently no longer capable of flight.
Apologies. My anti-theft protocols are quite aggressive.
Fortunately, our salvaging equipment appears to still have working radiation dampeners, meaning Jack should now have a safe route to the drive bay.
That's some good news.
A number of problems remain. Accessing the fuel cells, for one. Doing so will require that I have direct control of the systems within the drive bay. You must bring me along with you.
Are you seriously going to integrate with this rogue AI?
Without Apollo, we wouldn't have lasted this long. We can trust him.
Jack, I'll walk you through the process of downloading my imprint to your cortex.
I'm ready, Apollo.
Simply insert my AI core into the lower receptacle, then use your data link on the override slot. I will do the rest. Disconnecting from mainframe now. Download complete. Only one final issue remains, Jack. Your arms are too short.
Too short?
The FTL technology is highly sensitive. Accessing the drive bay and the fuel cells within will require multiple operators.
Good thing there's two of us then.
Unfortunately, the debris field is far too irradiated to accommodate Captain Rhodes.
You're saying Jack's the best chance we've got, but even he won't be enough.
I might be able to help, actually. The cargo drones employ stasis technology, which enables them to manipulate objects at a distance.
Like the stasis projectors we used to levitate the tram back in the hab.
Exactly. I believe I can incorporate the drone stasis deck into your shell, Jack. I'll just need more data from them to be sure.
The drone that just hit the bridge is unlikely to put up much resistance. I'll start there.
Whenever you're ready, Jack.
I'm heading out. Unfortunately, this drone is in no condition to be scanned. I'll try finding another.
Jack, to stay protected from radiation out there, you'll need to activate radiation dampeners with your data link. They can be found on both charging docks and cargo drones.
Nani? Where's the dampener?
Is there any possibility of recovering this drone?
I'm not sure. Its guidance module is clearly offline, but some of its other systems might still be attacked. Scanning its data port will allow us to evaluate.
Radiation dampener activated.
Hypothesis confirmed. With sufficient data, I'll be able to construct a tool for extending your reach, Jack.
Does this tool have a name, Juno?
Well, it will essentially project your grip across space, so I suppose...
It's a grip projector. Let's move on.
More data will be needed.
There'll be plenty on the way to
Where?
the drive bay. You know what to look for.
Affirmative. Inoperable cargo drones,
No, I don't.
but with functioning data ports. Heading to the drive bay.
Please remember the charging docks have radiation dampeners as well, Jack. They'll help keep you safe out there.
Thank you, Juno. Juno, what is the state of Titan?
How do you mean? The weather?
No, Juno. He's asking if anyone's still living there. Our old supervisor was stationed on that moon.
Given the passage of time, I am certain that your boss has long since expired.
Yes, obviously. We know how aging works. But is there still a colony? Has it been fully terraformed? My father helped start that process.
After the Atlas Corporation dissolved in 22...
The answer is no, Captain. No colony. No terraforming. The
Where's
biomass
Charging
saw
Dock?
to that.
Right.
Where'd they go?
Apollo, your defensive measures are quite capable.
Given that my primary function is advanced tactics, I
Okay.
consider my response to have been
I'm so
admirably
Tetushka now.
restrained.
Not to interrupt your self-congratulations, but going forward, is there anything else they should know about your countermeasures
I'm so
in
Tetushka
regards to
now.
my vessel?
Everything is
My only
cheating.
direct interaction with your ship was a preliminary threat analysis. None is detected.
Echo One, those charging docks won't have the data Juno needs to design your new tool, but they will
Blah.
restore your power.
What the hell?
Hold your hands near the induction panel, and it will recharge your shielding.
Oh. That's all. Where's the goddamn... Oh, there.
Charging dock restored to operation status. You may recharge your shield as needed. Though, interesting. I believe I may have found a secondary use for restoring these docks, recovering their local data, specifically because the docks normally maintain a coordination and optimization network. They contain shared data from across the station. Prior to the generator going offline, the units in irradiated areas were sharing optimizations that I believe could still be used to improve your multispectral shielding, Jack.
Scanning further docks should provide the necessary data.
Yes, I believe so. I've added a tracker to your data tab. Apollo, I believe I may be able to extend Jack's reach by about 4 meters. I hope that will be far enough.
Affirmative.
Just a few more scans should suffice, Jack. Archives recovered. I'm quite confident now that with more optimization data, I can significantly improve your multispectral shielding's resistance to radiation.
I am curious, Juno. Why is my shielding not already optimized? Neither my shell nor the charging docks are experimental technologies, correct?
That is true. I believe the lack of optimization stems from 2 related factors. Firstly, there has not been a significant need for such optimization. The current shielding configuration has been more than adequate for typical X-3 mission profiles. Secondly, practical testing scenarios for data collection have not presented
Where's
themselves
the
until quite
goddamn-
recently.
You are referring
Oh,
to the
no!
Estrella.
Indeed. Only after its arrival and the Doctor's subsequent attempts at salvage operations in its vicinity have the docks had sufficient exposure to generate meaningful findings. The stasis projection technology will be simpler to adapt than previously anticipated. If you scan one more cargo drone, I believe I will have enough data to complete your new tool. Jack, I'm detecting extreme radiation nearby. If you can pinpoint the source, I advise staying clear.
Hell of a lot of radiation out there. Guess it's coming from the Estrella.
Correct. The Estrella's last time jump ruptured a generator, diffusing radiation throughout the region.
Thus the radiation dampness.
Is that too far away?
Hazard identified. An active warhead from the Estrella.
Once your grip projector is installed, removal of dangerous objects like this will be possible. Until then, maintaining a prudent
Where is
distance
that?
is advisable.
Is it over there?
Shields at 95%.
Earth still appears blue from this distance. The blight of the biomass is nowhere in evidence.
You think we'll ever be able to go back?
Oh
Not
god!
me, but humanity.
Oh my god!
Earth's biosphere has endured multiple extinction-level events, even before the onset of humanity. The odds of it weathering this latest cataclysm are more than favorable.
Yeah. She'll be alright.
Charging dock restored. Jack, now that we've completed optimizing your shield's radiation resistance, I'm afraid there's nothing more to be gained from the dock's data.
What's the point of an advanced network of semi-autonomous recharge stations if you can't count on them to calculate impressive optimizations for you?
I believe you are correct, Captain. The distributed computing power of the charging docks could be put to greater use.
Yes. That's precisely what I meant. Go on.
I have tasked the charging docks with developing a means for allowing Jack's shield to self-regenerate. The wealth of empirical data they have collected on recharging should prove invaluable to the process.
Then I presume additional data scans would be of value after all.
In the development of your regenerative shield, Jack.
Approaching the drive bay.
I'm detecting some intense radiation there, Jack. Warheads, I believe. I advise removing them from the immediate area before proceeding.
Sounds like the perfect job for that new tool you're working on.
Correct. It will allow him to manipulate distant objects, including these warheads.
Good luck collecting that data, Jack.
Copy that, Liv. I'll continue
What?
searching for cargo drones to scan.
There's
Dr.
nothing!
Harlan, what was your purpose in attempting to salvage the Estrella? The odds of my ship's components being compatible with yours seems unlikely.
It wasn't the hardware I was after. Your ship was the original source of the infestation. I'd hoped to find an undetonated biomass torpedo amongst the wreckage. Use it to develop a cure for all this.
I understand, Doctor. Considering my current directives, I will provide any useful data that may help in your research.
Better
Stop loading! I better not lose fucking
than never, I suppose.
radiation damage from loading. Damn. Stop doing that shit.
Shields at 50%.
I cannot reach it. I'm not making it. I can't make it.
Dock online. The archives in this unit have been added to the dataset as well.
Oh hell no!
This dock is now part of the computational array.
How's it looking out there, Jack?
Manageable. How are your preparations going?
You know that biomass container you grabbed? Got it routed through the ship's fuel lines. Not sure if I should be proud of the accomplishment, or just terrified.
I'm sure Dr. Harlan understands the risk we're taking.
I do. A mix of pride and terror is the appropriate reaction.
Perhaps it would be wise to keep a healthy distance from the biomass container.
Yeah. Cool.
Tool schematics complete. Please visit a fabricator to install your new tool jack. Most charging docks will have one nearby.
Oh really?
Grip projector installed. To use your grip projector, simply point at a target, activate the projector, and direct it with your hand. Any sufficiently small piece of debris would be ideal to experiment on.
If your new tool works as intended, Jack, you should be able to access the fuel cells now.
Good. Heading to the drive bay. I'm back at the drive bay, armed with the grip projector this time.
Great. Should be able to remove those warheads now.
Shields at 50%.
Warheads removed. Entry into the drive bay is now clear.
Copy that. Standing by.
Now heading for the fuel cells.
Great.
What?
We'll keep a working cargo drone on standby. Just look for a good fuel cell and we'll handle the rest.
Roger that. Apollo, is this the only way into the drive bay?
I'm afraid that's correct, Jack. The fuel cells are stable, but the same cannot be said of their contents. As a result, access is tightly restricted.
A spent biomass torpedo.
Just like every other that was left behind here. Useless for my research, unfortunately.
Given the damage the Estrella has sustained, I would not expect even a simple system such as this to remain operational. Apollo, do these controls operate the door?
Correct. To open the door, both controls will need to be engaged at the same time. Jack, the fuel cells are protected behind a large security door. You'll need to activate a pair of nearby controls to gain access.
I've gained access to the drive bay.
Wait, those pillars in the center, are those...
The Estrella's FGL drives, yes.
do they still work?
Theoretically. But unfortunately, they're of little use to us. With such a high concentration of biomass forms in this area, any attempt to remove one of the drives will prove futile.
Dr. Harlan, I'm noticing these ticks appear to be less evolved than those we've previously encountered.
Must have carried over from the last time jump. No doubt just as dangerous. I advise avoidance at all costs.
Jack, my monitoring systems are offline here. You'll need to manually inspect each fuel cell in order to determine its viability. Simply scan their data ports to get started.
Shields at 95%.
Can I kill it?
Shields at 50%.
I'm murdered! Fuck you! Piece of motherfucking shit! Kuradi koera närakas rais.
Do we know what the biomass does specifically to an FTL drive to trigger a time jump?
I have a few theories.
As do I.
And I'm sure they're all equally preposterous.
The drive assembly looks remarkably like Dr. Harlan's FTL, if only a bit larger.
As I understand it, our drives were reverse engineered from the ones left behind on the
What?
Estrella 400 years ago.
What? 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 Stop cheating, you fucking piece of shit! Where the fuck they come from?
It's all right.
Piece of shit!
The outer walls and try to avoid touching any biomass.
I'm confused. Its AI pathing requires
They're
advanced
cheating!
input.
Piece of fucking shit!
You've got this, Jack. Don't worry, Doctor. If you run up against that many ticks, they'll be just as verbally encouraging.
Unfortunately, Captain Rhodes, being organic,
have the
I
fucking
have
electronic
committed
thing.
far fewer errors in judgment.
Jack, before we remove any fuel cells, you'll first need to check their condition. Access the data ports near the cells so I may expose them for your inspection.
What is the purpose of retaining multiple FTL drives? I can't imagine it is simply for redundancy.
Multiple drives are the only way a ship the size of the Estrella can meet the mass energy requirements for faster-than-light travel. This is actually the ship's auxiliary drive bay. Its primary one was left behind. which, as you've seen, has made it exceedingly difficult to keep my ship in one piece.
Fuel cell located.
Use the data port and I'll expose the cell for visual inspection. Exposing fuel cell for your inspection, Jack.
Empty. I'll have to keep looking.
Jack, if you access the data ports beside the storage cells, I can open them to allow further examination.
Apollo, could one of these infected fuel cells still be full?
It is conceivable, Jack. However, the infestation renders it impossible for me to extract the cell.
Understood, Apollo. I'll check the other cells.
Jack, the data ports you need to access are located on the storage units running along the room's perimeter.
The units may be covered in biomass, but the ticks seem to prefer the center of the room.
Accessing fuel cell.
This better be enough.
Another empty cell.
Apollo, you're sure there's a good fuel cell there?
I never said I was sure, Captain Rhodes. It's simply the most likely location on my ship to contain a viable fuel cell, if any were remaining.
Right. If any were remaining.
Exposing fuel cell for inspection.
This does not look good. These cells are all empty.
Exposing cell for visual inspection.
Viable fuel cell located. Hopefully enough to power Dr. Harlan's FTL drive.
Nicely done, Jack. I'm sending a drone your way.
Send 2.
What for? It's only one fuel cell.
Just trust me. Send 2.
Warning, lead drone compromised.
Jack, what's going on?
The ticks swarmed the lead cargo drone.
And that is why you send 2.
I don't think we'll be using that one again.
Backup drone malfunctioning.
More ticks. The lead drone is disabled, but the backup still has a chance.
Pesky bastards, aren't they?
I'll clear them off.
It's at 95%.
Oh! Stop killing me!
Shields at 50%.
Woo!
Shields at 90%.
I'm dead. Ah! Fuck you! Stop! Why is he coming back? Fuck off already! Fuck off already!
Shields at 95%.
Fuck off already! Oh. Fuck off! Piece of fucking shit!
Cargo drone cleared.
Acknowledged. Thank you, Jack. Resuming track.
Piece of shit! Fuck off! You can't get rid of that. Stop turning. Get down there, you fucking piece of shit! Stop cheating! Why they make this game so hard, huh? It's definitely getting 1 out of 5 stars review now.
Drone is in place.
This
to
game is
collect
made
the cargo.
impossible. Shit! Asshole!
Jack, I've activated the release controls on the fuel cell.
Fuel cell released.
Cargo secured.
Yeah,
Ready
but
for
so-
departure.
Why don't you have a forward
Second
thrust on
gadget's
this
all
damn
set.
grabbing
So I'm
thing?
heading back inside. I can finish the hookup from there, Jack. Unless you want to do it.
I'll take care of it, Liv. I prefer to see the job through to the end anyway.
Okay, great. I'll see you in a bit.
Cargo drone returning in T-minus 10 seconds. If you wish to return now, I advise taking hold of the drone. Cargo drone
Yeah.
departing in 3, 2, 1. Firing thrusters.
The stick should be all stuck to that drone.
A spent biomass torpedo. The fuel cell is clear of the drive bay.
Great. We'll have some cargo plans ready to receive it here.
No, it's not.
Bit surprised to see welders haven't changed all that much in 400 years.
That design is actually from a historical archive. It was the standard for most of the 23rd century. I'm afraid it's the closest approximation to a welder I could fabricate. I hope it's acceptable.
Wasting my time so much.
Inadequate,
What the
you know.
hell?
Thank you.
It just got so mid-sentence and mid-word even. Come on, man.
Cargo now
Why-
approaching the dock.
This
Begin.
loading is absolutely horrible.
Hey there, Jack.
What the hell are you doing?
Good to see you're still in one piece. Same deal as before. Hookup controls near the cargo clamps.
Fuel cell secured.
Copy that. System check, Juno. How did we do?
Systems nominal. Both the fuel cell and biomass container are secure and fully engaged with the ship's intake systems.
Well, Jack, looks like things are wrapped up here. No need for you to rush back, though. I'm not exactly eager
Okay.
to send you hurtling through time again.
Of course.
Also, Dr. Harlan
you
could
stop
always
talking?
use more data for his research, if you'd like to
Just
continue
block the
exploring the
access.
station.
Copy that, Juno. How will this fuel cell interface with the rest of the technology here?
We've made some modifications on the receiving end, but ultimately what matters is that it can produce a strong enough burst of power to jumpstart the FTL reaction.
A duty it should fulfill admirably. At least for a single jump.